June said you're a bitch. Explain. All right, will you please? Okay, quit popping in and out. Thank you. That'd be swell. All right, we got the recording going.
Years ago, the Geth drove my people into exile. We asked the Council to wipe the synthetics out, but they ignored our pleas.
Maybe if they'd listened, we wouldn't be here now.
Ah.
Through all my time at CSEC, I never got the chance to witness a meeting of the Council in person.
Garrus? What the hell are you doing down there, man? Alright, so now let's see. Where the hell do we have to go? Oh, Sarah. Speak to the ambassador. Okay. So now we'll go over to locations. We need the embassies. Yes, I know that I've arrived at the embassies. Talk to the ambassador. I thought we did that.
The EarthClan Spectre has returned to speak with me.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, EarthClan.
Alright, well, I'm... Oh, meet him at the docking bay. Ha! Okay. Fuck that up. And then how do I get to said docking bay? Hmm? It's on the other side. Maybe it's down here.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Just refuse to comment, eh? To docking bay. Oh, you know what? They told us to go to... They told us to go over here to the offices because there may be stuff that we need now because we are a Spectre.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you got.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Oh, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Just show me what you got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Ooh, the rare stocks. Can I even wear that yet? I can wear heavy armor. Okay. Oh no, that's not a good helmet for him. No, no, no. I like this one. Toggle helmet. Let's see. Garrus. Sniper rifle. Let's make sure that he's got something good. He's got the best we got. Okay.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you got.
All right, heavy armor. Can't wear that yet. Heavy armor it is. Okay, off we go. So Jess, how was work this evening? You said that you were kind of bored and finished a bunch of your book.
Do you ever regret leaving Citadel Security to pursue Saren, Garrus?
Fighting a rogue Spectre with countless lives at stake and no regulations to get in the way? I'd say that beats CSEC.
I'm pleased that the imminent destruction of all organic life has improved your career opportunities.
Hello, Ambassador.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
What kind of leads do we have?
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
What about the Reapers?
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
I'll start there.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Not even a good luck. Thanks, asshole.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Yeah, I know that you and Saren have a past. Let's talk about that.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
I trusted you. You betrayed me.
It's not something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
What happened?
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
Something went wrong, huh?
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
How'd you get blamed for that?
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't
Your
blame
fault.
yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
We'll get to him.
It's no good living in the past.
Tell me a bit about Pharos.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
Alright, what about Novaria?
What can you tell me about Novaria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Novaria respects. But they aren't popular.
And tell me about Artemis Tau.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
Alright, well, let's get at it.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Got it, I should go. Actually, you know what? Make sure there's nothing up here. Like that.
The Normandy is amazing, Shepard. It's an honor to be among her crew.
Alright, we've looked at the hull, we've looked at the thrusters. Anything else for us to look at? Weapons, ha! Okay, well, now we've inspected everything. Inside we go!
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Saren's out there somewhere, and we're gonna find him.
Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Wherever Saren goes, we'll follow. Wherever he searches for the conduit, we'll be there. We will hunt him to the very ends of the galaxy and bring him down. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise
Rex.
you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, Joker, let's go, man.
Commander, something you need?
Status report.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet.
Damn right.
Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know?
No.
Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolich syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
So, how'd you get your nickname?
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Were you an unhappy person?
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolich syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
How do you do your job?
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
All right. Well, good talking to you there, Joker. Quit being an asshole.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
All right. See ya. All right, Mr. Presley. What have you got to say?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
I'm in charge here, Presley. I decide if we have non-humans on this vessel.
Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Damn right.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
So, Lady Matrix, are you... I saw that Star Citizen is putting out... There was some sort of new ship or something that they were putting out. So are you able to fly said ship? Or is it just, hey, we're launching a new ship, so they're just trying to make fanfare about it?
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
And now you're here.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Comlink? Okay, can't do anything with it, but you can at least look at it. Opens the door, go down the steps. Take a look around. There's Caden. What do you got? What are you doing over here, my man?
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at.
And if you're not sure, I like just poking around, plus gives you ships to try out.
For now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
I think I've got like 2 or 3 ships that I have purchased at some point.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
Did they really? Huh. Cool. I guess not.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
So, Matrix, which ships do you own? So, because I think I've got an Origin. You need something? Okay. Here, buddy. Have a good night. Good night. Get some sleep. Okay, that's fine. Aegis Avenger Titan. I think I've got a Mustang, and I think the Origin 300i. I think those are the only two that I've got.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
This was always my favorite part, was sitting there and just going and doing the exploration and kind of like talking to everybody and whatnot.
Ship you got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
I have a personal inquiry for you.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Yeah, they tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
What's this genophage?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why not?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Mass Effect 2.
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Is that a problem?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, okay, I already did that.
Commander?
Ashley?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
We came as soon as we got the distress call, even with the fastest ship in the fleet.
You did the best you could, Commander. It's my fault.
How's it your fault?
If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
They have flashlight heads.
Ma'am?
Garrus, my man. I love the Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSAC.
You knew this ahead of time?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
That was your only reason?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
It was a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Sounds good to me.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
What can you get for me here?
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What these licenses?
Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Which manufacturers are we talking about here?
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Alright, let's sell, because we are Poe. I wasn't kidding that it's expensive. Jesus. Engineer Adams?
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Tell me about the stealth systems.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why does FTL give us away?
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
So, how's the Normandy doing?
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about it?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Alright, Tally, what's your story over here?
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
You into ships?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original...
It's 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about the pilgrimage a little bit.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Do they always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me more about your people.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species
Like
take
what?
for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Who's the Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
You guys are democratic.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Hold on 1 second. Mom's texting me. Okay, give me 1 second. Be right back. The BRB button. My apologies. Kids are going to bed early tonight. Usually they're up a little bit later than this, but the old one is going, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, just passing out. Little one's like, I'm watching TV for a little while.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Tell me about it.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Isn't that illegal?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
The neural network?
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So it's like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers.
Well, that's a problem.
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Why?
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
They defended themselves.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Not everyone.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay. Well, that is definitely a problem that we're going to have to find ourselves a way to solve. All right, well, let's go. Get ourselves started. Crap, wrong button. Aha, there we go. Yes, we're going to travel to another system. Thank you. I love this part. Okay, this is where we go. Current squad, okay. Oh, we get to drive the Mako. Oh, good.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
Remember this thing sucking, learning how to drive it. Still kind of sucks driving it. That's not good. Yeah, it definitely does suck driving this damn thing. Okay. Can't go that way. Okay. There's that. That just said something, but I didn't see what it said.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
I remember why I never liked driving this damn thing. Ah, there's an upgrade kit. Aha. Take everything.
I'm a little busy here.
Are you now? Aha. We shall take everything, thank you. That may not have been the best idea, because now that gate's open and it's gonna try blasting the Mako. Anything in here? No, doesn't look like it. You over here? No. Okay. Yeah, I never liked driving this damn thing. I got 4 points. Woo! Garrus, you have 4. Rex. You have 12 points. Okay, apparently we've never upgraded you. Heavy armor. Alright, so let's take a look at this. I really don't use shotguns all that much. Those are that's kind of shit in regards to What about you, Garrus? What do we got here? Like personnel rounds. Rex. Also give you anti-personnel rounds. Okay. Let's see what's inside. Nothing. Big bag of nothing.
50 degrees hotter and I might start to feel uncomfortable. How are you mammals doing, Shepard?
Lime, thank you.
All targets down.
Okay, we got another gate control. Gate activated. Anything hidden back here? He went green because I'm using radioactive rounds, I think. And good evening, Kaz. How are you? How was your Saturday? Hungry again? Dude, you're always hungry. I don't think you've ever actually shown up to stream fully fed. Outside of pestering Afro, what are you pestering Afro about? Why? What'd you do? You're heating used lemonades instead. Okay. Oh, I got it. I get what you're talking about now. Oh, and that little blip that showed up, it says saving, don't turn off computer. Right, I nuked your ass. Like I pulled the plug mid, you know, mid shot. It was a busy day today. So, last night I had a weird medical health thing. Like I just couldn't cool off. Like I was just, my youngest came downstairs for water before bed. I'm sitting there, laying down on the floor because we're on a slab, so it's concrete and it's nice and cool. I think I'm probably gonna go into the technical side of streaming and picking the right machine and be able to stream and do all of this stuff at the same time. I think is, like I said, I can't think of anything that is no, not kiddo issues, me issues. I couldn't cool off, so I was watching Smoke last night and I just turned everything off and I'm laying on the concrete. I'm just like I can't cool off. Then my knucklehead neighbors sent their demon spawn outside to play at 8:30 in the morning. Fuckers. Well, I actually just learned that they just sold their house, so means they won't be here for much longer. I guess we go on foot. Well, it's also good news because I just apparently they sold the house for like $399,900. That's right. Gotcha.
I'm a little busy here.
Okay. What's the command for first aid on a squad person? Well, it doesn't feel like it's a V.
Not now, Shepard.
How do I res the guy? How do I res Garrus? There we go. That took entirely too long to do. Garrus, I want you on sniper duty, and I want you on that. On that.
Hostile contact.
Did I get him? Guess so. LLP, how are you, my man? So far so good. We're still in the early hours of it. We just proved that Saren is a traitor, and yeah, I know. We just proved that Saren is a traitor, and we are now on his on the path to going after him. We just got command of the Normandy, and we are on our first planet that is, and probably looking for Liara. I remember this place.
Here she come now, say moaning, moaning.
Thank you, sir, for that resub. 34 months. Jesus. That is just nutty. Thank you for that. I remember playing this. This sucked. Garrus, how did you get yourself nuked? Here we go. At that one. Don't be stupid, Garrett or Rex. Ah ha ha, got him. Get rid of that one, thank you. Yeah, the mutual support thing has been going on for quite a while, my man. How is everything going for you? How is the new job? When did you get the new job? I guess that's a better question. Hey, Garrus, you suck. I remember doing that the first time around. I remember how much that sucked doing, and the use first aid to res your teammates kinda yeah on this one. But yeah, tell me all about the new job. What is it? What is it that they've got you doing? Like, give us the deets, my man. Hello. Where did you come from?
Remember to stay hydrated.
Remember to stay hydrated. How about Garrus? Remember not to sit there and get shot in the dome ski. And how did the podcast go last night?
Enemy side.
Wow, blew the shit out of him. My position is data center technician for a company called IES Communications. It's contracted by Facebook to lay the communications infrastructure at their data center in the state. Honestly, that sounds very interesting. That really, like, the nerd in me is like, that sounds really cool.
I've never visited a Prothean ruin before, aside from the Citadel.
Hey, we got points. Let's see. Okay. All right, Rex, let's give you 4 points and all sorts of fun stuff. Shotguns. Kind of cool. For now, it's a lot of manual labor in a heavy construction area. Lots of pulling cable, routing it, dressing it to look pretty, and so on. So all I'm going to say is that the next time, or when you build your next computer, your cable management better be on damn point, or I'm going to be very disappointed. You will have failed your ancestors. You will have failed, you know, your family, and you will have failed me. Yes, we shall smite you if you fail. I saw the hard hat. I saw that. You didn't see the work gloves, Kevlar sleeves, entry and ID badges, and proximity center. That's cool, dude. I'm telling you, that's some neat shit. Meant to detect the vibrator too close to someone else with a sensor. Interesting. So kind of like a social distancing thing.
Sterile white. Protheans sure build things homey.
That's interesting. I guess for like contact tracing, you know, for like contact tracing and all that other stuff.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Please?
Hello?
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Dr. Tassoni?
Liara Tassoni, I presume?
Thank the goddess. I did not think anyone would come looking for me. Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
How did you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
Your mother is working with Saren.
Did that already.
What? I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not.
It's a COVID thing. We also need to be tested regularly.
Get me out of here.
We just need to figure some way past this energy field.
It's a Prothean barrier curtain. I knew it would keep me safe from the Geth. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Krogan, you say, eh?
Let's get moving.
Yeah, back when she was innocent, back when she was, you know, before the dark times. Well, I already know the kids' schools are the middle school is requiring it.
Dead and done, just the way I like 'em.
Yeah, the kids' middle school is requiring it. One and done. Got it. Yeah, I got my second Pfizer shot this week. Had a pretty wicked headache afterwards. Hammerhead rounds. What are those? Also called squash projectiles, is designed to flatten on impact, increasing the amount of physical force transferred to the target. Ow, those look like that hurts. Now remember, the vaccine is really designed to prevent you from having to go to the hospital for COVID. Will it likely keep you away from getting it? Yes, but yes, it definitely hit me different than the first one as well. First one I had no problem. Get a second shot. Yeah, I'm waiting until the kids are out of school, and then I'm gonna take the big one to go get his. Figure that shit out. Alright, now what?
Oh, how did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
Superior firepower.
We blasted through with the mining laser.
Of course. Yes, that makes sense. Please, get me out of here before more Geth arrive. That button over there should shut down this containment field.
Company itself looks solid. They've treated me and the rest of their employees like adults, which is refreshing. Days are a little tiring. 30-minute commute to get there at 7 a.m. Woof.
There's an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on. I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Uh-huh.
Zaren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. Obviously, he wants you to help him find it.
The conduit, but I don't know.
That's not a good sound.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Well, it's good that you guys are getting, you've got some income coming in, which is good. Are you like done with school? Or is this like you just done with the school for now?
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
There a reason you're in my way?
The same reason you're here. The Asari. Thanks for getting rid of those energy fields for us. Hand the doctor over.
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
She'll stay with us, thanks.
Not an option. Saren wants her, and he always gets what he wants. Kill him. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
Oh good, it's just me right now, because you all suck. Time to go. Time to go.
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
It's a coping mechanism. You'll get used to it.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
50 years?
Just how old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
What did you learn?
Did your research turn up anything interesting?
What is interesting is what I did not turn up. There is remarkably little archaeological evidence of the Protheans, and even less that might explain why they disappeared. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
How do you know that?
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research.
Okay, go get dinner.
Right. And eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
What cycle? What are you talking about?
The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines, the Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
The beacon.
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear.
You're damn right.
I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Damn right I am.
Helping us find Saren, or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
You can still help us.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Welcome aboard.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate, or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
Yeah, we'll follow up later.
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Yep.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
Yep.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Damn right.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
Take that, bitches. All right, let's now talk to anybody and everybody.
Yes, Commander?
How did you end up as...
They had the numbers, but their ships
Carry
were...
on, Preston.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Not much to sit there and talk about now. Thank you, Joker, for saving our asses.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
Here, you want that?
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
Status report.
How's the Normandy performing?
She's the best ship in the fleet. Balance. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot.
How'd you end up joining the...
Spend all
Okay,
that time
so there's
on
really
Mars.
nothing there.
There's
Okay,
a
good.
chance you'll end up going to the academy.
I have to go.
All right, see you.
All right, see ya. Okay. Let's go talk to the crew. Time is it? 12:30. We are just getting started, boys and girls. We got lots of time left tonight. All right, Doc, what you got?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Nope.
Go. Goodbye, Commander.
Liara, let's talk.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Yes, I am.
Much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I know you will.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
So, who else from the original crew do we need to pick up? This is it, right? Because Grunt was in second one. Jackson, second one. This is pretty much it. I think we've got the entire crew now.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
So tell me about Asari culture.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what kind of rumors?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
How is that possible?
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits onto our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
So what about the other parent?
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Who was your dad?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld.
Fair point.
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
You don't know that.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Okay, then.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Alrighty.
Commander, do you have a minute?
I'm listening.
Let's make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
An old-fashioned view.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Now, maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
What did they train you for?
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled.
Mm-hmm. Brain camp.
The worst results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
So what's the survival rate?
Seems like you beat the odds. How many didn't make it?
Out of 100, maybe 60 have no effect. 30 suffer adverse effects, little things like brain cancer. The other 10 show enough ability to augment with implants. Not always permanent, though. Not like the cancer. Next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero. And how's a kid supposed to deal with that? A station at the edge of human space.
Alright, so tell me about it.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Alright. Talk about those intentional exposures to element 0.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Remarkable the difference some retexture can make. I remember replaying the original and the default textures were horrendous. I needed to alter an INI file to make them look passable. Yeah, I gotta admit, they've done a really nice job of making everything look, you know, good again. Now this is... I'm playing at 1440. You're seeing it at 1080. And I'm recording it at 1440. So YouTube gets the full res file. I'm curious to see what 2 and 3 look like, because 3 is closer to obviously our timeline right now. So I'm willing to bet that there's less visual oohs and ahs with it than they did with the first one.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
What was I going to say? So one of the things is the first thing they did was they made or brought the face of FemShep from 2 and 3 back to 1. So that wasn't actually, this wasn't actually a default ready to go for 1. So they did do that.
You were all teenagers. I'm sure you found other ways to occupy the time.
I'm not the sort who does that kind of thing, Commander. Not lightly, anyway. There was a girl I spent a lot of time with. We kept our clothes on. Rana. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful. But not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess.
Did you like her?
Sounds like she was special
Hey.
to you.
What are you looking for?
Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The Grand Gateway to Humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
I'm interested.
I wanted to get to know you a little better. That's all. Thanks for the talk, Caden.
Well, you're welcome, ma'am. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
No, I don't. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But, yeah, I'd like that.
Well, I just think I stumbled into romancing Caden there. What are you looking for, Cat? He's looking at something. Yep, kind of stumbled into the old vertical polka. Horizontal polka. Alright, Rex.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Yes, we do.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
You knew him?
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I'll decide what's important. Now tell me how you know Saren.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
So he recruited you?
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What was he doing?
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
So what cargo did you guys get?
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Okay, then.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
All right. Let's see. What can we give you? You kind of forget that they really give you a lot of choice, for lack of a better term, when it comes to RPG, and how little there is in 2 and 3. Like, being able to sit there and do all of this, you know, ammo upgrade and all this other stuff. Like, you don't have that in the second and third game. Like, you are making some modifications to things, but not like this.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Not everyone has a happy family life.
No, I guess not. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time off the record.
They become action RPGs? Yeah. So this is the first time I've actually played with FemShep. I have not actually played with her in any of the games ever. So we're going full FemShep, front to back, the whole bit. I tagged Jennifer Hale in a tweet about this last week, and she liked it. I was like, you know, I kind of nerded out a little bit. So it'll be interesting because in all of my other playthroughs, Caden gets nuked, so he's not around, and you end up dating Ashley. So it'll be interesting to see how everything kind of goes this time through, because, you know, we'll have some different dialogue, obviously.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the council races allies.
Wow, she's not cool.
Humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
How do you get from relying on ourselves to mistreating our allies?
I don't mean we should mistreat them, Commander. I just think we should be prepared to go it without them.
This is why you're gonna die.
Their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Tell me about your military family before we nuke your ass.
I never knew my family. Grew up an orphan on Earth. Anybody in your family I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. So why are you out here? Just trying to get away from Earth?
Mainly I wanted to serve. Protect the Alliance, save lives, you know?
Glad to hear it. I'd hate to think you were out here for a free college education.
Alright, I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I'm glad there won't be a problem.
Anything else you need, Commander?
Nope.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
I forgot how much of a space racist she is.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
Came a long way in the end. She's not going to go very far in this playthrough.
He's not impressed that you're going after Saren?
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Not all Spectres are like Saren, you know.
Of course not. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
Yes, you are.
Looking for supplies?
Yes, what do you got?
You bet, Commander.
Okay, we got 14,000. That is not enough to buy fuck all. That's true, he can. My problem is then everyone's like, I'm gonna sit there and we're gonna do a Renegade playthrough where I'm like, I just can't, you know, like that's just not me.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
You know, like my Shepherd is always just a nice guy. You know, like it's just how I play him. Like I can't be evil. You know, so like in a way the playthrough is going to be roughly the same as all of my other playthroughs, except it's going to have Caden as opposed to Ashley, and it's FemShep. You know, so it's like there's not going to be that much of a difference. You know, like I want to make sure that Rex survives. I want to make sure like all of this stuff kind of like all the things happen for 2. So it's like, it just makes the game harder in the end, and you'll just end up with the worst endings. Yeah, which I don't want.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
You sound down.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
Is it too quiet?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
Like picking up all of the characters last weekend for the first time was like, it was like seeing old friends again. Like I've only ever really started from 2. Like I go all the way through 1, I 100%ed 1, and I've kept that save game for pretty much ever. So whenever I've played, I pick up from 2, and I just start from that point forward, because 2 is my favorite of all of them. You know, so getting to picking out Rex and meeting Garrus for the first time and just kind of reliving this. Like I've played this game once, Mass Effect 1 once, the entire way through. So it's been nice kind of like seeing old friends again.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I should go.
See you later.
We got an I should go. I know, I sit there and I giggle every time I see that. I should go. Because one of my favorite parts from the Mass Effect 3 Citadel one is when he's sitting there stuck. He goes, I don't say that often. I should go. I should go. I should go.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Really now? Well, we may have to go check that out. Let's see, who do we bring with us? They sit there and they just drop your ass. Take a look at our squad. Okay, she's got 4 points that we can put in. Let me use that. Rex, you get 4 points. What do I give you? Okay, and Tally, ooh, has 12. Okay. There's certainly nostalgia with this game. Original sci-fi comes so seldom, and to see something so different really hit home for me. The universe and its characters are alive, and it's so much fun to live in that adventure with them. Right, like, you just get so invested with these characters over 3 games that, you know, it's like slipping into a warm bath at the end of a long day. Like, you just know that these are folks that are just, like, you know them backwards and forwards, and they wrote so well. It's a fucking thresher maw. Okay, we got nuked there. That hurt. I remember doing this way back when. This is getting a little choppy. Alrighty, we're gonna need to do this a little differently. I remember this one being a pain in the ass too. Of course it would be a hard mode run for you. Of course it would. Of course. I expect nothing else from you. That's a problem. Fuck. 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 Oh, come on! Aw. I came back from a flipped... And there is no upgrades that you can do for the Mako because they didn't think that this was a good thing to sit there and spend credits on. eventually, so I think Saturday nights is going to be Mass Effect night. So we're going to go through, we're going to play 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to actually finish Andromeda. So I'm actually going to go back through and start over. Repair, repair, repair. Oh, bullshit. Thresher maws are not fun things. Like, in the second game, there is a battle with a Thresher maw, and the easiest way to take them out is to actually use a thermonuclear weapon, which I don't have in this game. Prepare. I can't do anything yet. Oh, God. I'm screwed. Prepare. There we go. Take that. Woo. Turn on the fan a little bit. Get a little hot under the collar here. If you can hear that, let me know.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Looks like these men were under Admiral Kahoku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
Actually, you know what? We need some Omni Gel here. Because Rex is a... Okay, I've got two heals, so to speak. Hopefully we don't run into too much any more Thresher Maws. This thing, okay, so just remember, Live, Love, Play, how ass this thing was to drive. It's still ass to drive. Now, in the second game, there was kind of a little hovercraft thing. That was way easier to drive and more fun. This thing kind of sucks. My electronic skill is too low. Not anymore, it's not. Oh, damn. Ha Okay. So we found a thresher maw. Those things suck. We're going to explore the shit out of this system, then we're going to go back to the Citadel and go talk to that woman that communicated to us. I am confused. 20 points. Okay, I need to get his ass up. Okay, small, they said short EVAs because this is an unfriendly planet. Let's not stick around outside here too long. Electronic skill too low. shit, I don't have anybody that's got... Turn to the Normandy. We'll land again, but I need to find somebody that's got electronics. I don't know if I've got somebody that's high enough with electronics to do this. I do indeed, actually. Alright, so now let's go figure out what this is over here. It's at 1:30. Alright, we still got a little while before we call it quits tonight. There we go. Thank you. Turn around. This thing just does not drive well. Is there a way... That's much better. Because it was driving where I was pointing the gun. That's much better. That would have made taking on the Thresher Maw way easier. That would have made... That one control right there would have made killing that Thresher Maw way easier. Thank you. I found thorium. Okay. Now, let's go figure out what this stronghold thing is. See something in the distance. Ruh-roh. I see something nasty in the distance. Yeah, you Geth stand no chance. Hee 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 hee. Oh, there's shit in here to kill. There's one more. Where is he? I don't know what each of these was. The villains were reused. I mean, there was a Cerberus in there, or there was a Krogan in there, and then there was a... Haha. You dead. Well, there was a Krogan, and then there was also a Solarian there too. Download evidence? Yeah, I think I will. Decryption too low. Oh no. That one need to be decrypted. That one, decryption too low. Decryption too low. How about now? I got it. I got that one too. There was another door back here. Let's see if there's any more goodies. All sorts of goodies. Yep. Goodies, goodies galore. You not blow up? I think it does. Are you able to get to that? You can't climb. You can't vault. I don't think you can. Alright, oh well. I guess that's it. Yeah, but it's still got a... plot thing in here. It shows... Thought we downloaded all of that already. Let's go back upstairs and make sure. Did we? It says we did. Okay, well I'm gonna get... it looks like we did, but it's still showing as having that as a mission... a mission point here. But we already cleared it. There's nobody here. We got everything, I think.
To me!
Okay, I'm gonna say that that's it. I guess we got everything. Okay, I'll say we got it. I said it still shows that it's got a thing, but we went through everything. Travel to another system. We will just make sure that we've cleared out this system. When we've explored everything, then we will go over to... We go back to the Citadel. And there, I'm not going to go bother reading through all of these planets. Now, I forget, were there hidden things in this one or not? Or was this one just... This one was just what was there? Oh, I remember the first time I saw that. I was like, oh, shit, that's fucking cool. So there are actual things that we might have missed. Shit. All right, well, let's go aboard and see what this Nasana Dantius wants to talk about, because we have some things that we need to discuss.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Rear Admiral.
Tin Hut!
At ease. Rear Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
Commander Shepard, SSV Normandy.
You don't know who I am, do you, Commander?
Nope.
I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. And the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship and you.
I still serve the Alliance, sir. As a Spectre, I can advance our interests to the Council.
You still know what color your blood is, Shepard? I don't begrudge the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
You don't approve of the Normandy's design?
This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
We'd be honored to show her to you, Admiral.
I'll just bet. Wait here. I won't be long. Commander, I'm not happy.
What did you find out of order?
Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
Modified Turian style. They prefer commanders looking over their subordinates rather than in the middle of them. We wanted to see how effectively they can command with that setup.
Reasonable goal, but they should have studied that in a lab rather than on a frontline warship. I
Dog hair.
have to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits at element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
We can loiter in an enemy system and monitor traffic, or drop infiltration teams on enemy worlds. Normandy could be more effective than the Solarian STG.
Maybe. But that's not the job of a proper warship. We're supposed to find and kill the enemy fleet, not count how many times their garrison goes to the bathroom. And we need to talk about your crew, Commander.
Oh, no, we don't.
Sorry? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Between Saren and the Geth, we have enough enemies out here. Treating other species with suspicion and distrust won't win hearts and minds.
That assumes the hearts and minds are worth winning.
I don't like this guy.
You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
None, sir.
Very well. I don't agree with any of this, but your reasons seem sound. I'll be submitting a report to the Joint Military Council. It will not be as negative as I'd planned. Good hunting, Commander Shepard. Make us proud.
Well, kind of turned that conversation around, didn't we?
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Just a tad. You remember how bad the loading scenes were? Like, it took you forever to get through the elevators? Oh, not this woman.
Commander Shepard? Khalees had been seen in Al-Jalani, Westerland News. Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
What sort of questions?
People back home have heard a lot of wild stories about you, Commander. I can give you the chance to set the record straight. What do you say?
So long as you understand that I may not be able to answer all questions.
I'm sure our viewers will understand.
Oh, this woman.
Humans have been trying to get the respect of the galactic community for 26 years. With that in mind, what are your feelings on being the first human Spectre?
The Spectres represent the best of every species in the galaxy. To be asked to join them is an honor.
Some have said your appointment is the Citadel throwing humans a bone. Have you encountered any situations where the Citadel asked you to place its needs before the needs of Earth?
No. That's the one thing I've always done, is clocked her.
The Council is concerned with the needs of the whole galactic community. We're part of that community now. Our needs are on their agenda, but we're one of many.
You really do believe that, don't you? You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
Actually, the Normandy was co-developed by human and Turian engineers. Its design incorporates many innovations, all of which are classified, I'm afraid.
So the Turians have knowledge of the Normandy that is being kept secret from the Alliance public? Do you think it was appropriate to hand Earth's most advanced warship over to the Citadel?
I wasn't aware it had been handed over to anyone. I'm in command, and last I checked, I'm human. Same goes for my crew.
Human, yes, but you do work for the Citadel now, Commander. One last question, Commander. Rumors back home say you're tracking a rogue Spectre named Saren. Do you have any comment on that?
Saren instigated the attack on our colony at Eden Prime. Once his involvement was proven to the Council, I was assigned to bring him in.
That's surprising, Commander. The official line says Eden Prime was attacked by rogue synthetics. Good luck in your mission. Thank you for your time, Commander Shepard.
Yeah, every time I've played her, I've clocked her. Every time. Not entirely sure what that says about me, but every time I've done it, every time I've played, I've clocked her. I went the wrong way. You're deciding to bother me? How was karaoke? We're not going to be going for too much longer. We've actually been going for... We've been going... Oh, it's almost 2 o'clock. Oh, you're still at the bar. Why are you watching me while you're at the bar? No offense.
Hello, Commander.
Show me what you got.
Like, go. Go have fun. Everyone says hi. I didn't bring him. Yet. We came out for air. Got it. Okay, well, you don't have anything that I want. The bodyguard and a friend. Gotcha. Let's go up to... the embassies. Oh, put the gun away. So have you actually sung any karaoke tonight, or are you just watching karaoke tonight?
Commander Shepard, I am Nasana Dantius. I'm glad you're here. I must talk to you about my sister Dahlia. She's been kidnapped by slavers.
Dahlia's dead, Nasana, and I know she was blackmailing you.
And I was all set to try to manipulate you into hunting her down for me. But I guess that won't be necessary now, will it?
You wanted your sister dead?
If people found out my sister was a criminal, I'd be considered a security risk. They'd revoke my clearance, or place me on administrative leave until she was apprehended. I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find the amount satisfactory.
You're a diplomat on her way up the ranks. Could be handy to have a Spectre who owes you a favor.
You make a good point. Anyone can come up with credits, but I can give you authorization to purchase prototype Asari mods. I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list.
Go.
Very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
Well, we got ourselves some money, and we got ourselves some got ourselves some money, and we got ourselves taken care of with that one. Open the door, open the door, open the door. So no karaoke tonight, huh?
Septimus has sent word. Apparently, he sought the consort's forgiveness.
That's right. It was a long time ago, though. I barely remember it. What drew you back to the Citadel and to the consort?
Okay, now let's wrap up this quest.
Commander, I recently received a lovely note from Septimus. Thank you for speaking with him. Even the Alcor diplomat has withdrawn his campaign against me.
Glad I could help.
You are too kind, Commander, but I would not expect you to help me out of the kindness of your heart. I also have one more thing to give you, if you are interested.
Of course.
Be honored.
I offer a gift of words, an affirmation of who you are and who you will become. I see your skin, tough as the scales on any Turian, unyielding, a wall between you and everyone else, but it protects you, makes you strong. That strength is what kept you alive when everyone around you was dying. You alone survived. You will continue to survive. This may be who you are, but it is not who you will become. It only forms the basis for your future greatness. Remember these words when doubt descends, Commander.
You have quite a gift, Shaira.
Thank you. Not everyone appreciates it as you do. Never underestimate the power of words. Here, Commander. In light of your efforts with the Alcor Ambassador, I would like you to have this small trinket.
What is it?
A small mystery. I have never learned its use or purpose, but I sense it is time for me to pass it on.
What'd you give me?
Now I must ask you to leave. I have done everything I can for you. Remember my words, Commander Shepard. They will give you strength.
Great. No! Damn it. So what did you give me? Okay, so I don't have anything for her to wear. Okay. So we got access to Asari mods, so that's cool.
I see even the humans find the consort irresistible.
Let's go. Oh, hello. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the bank? Finance district, please. We're gonna go talk to the Volus. Hello, Barlavon.
Greetings, Earth Clan. I believe congratulations are in order, Commander Shepard. You are the first human to join the Spectres, yes?
It's a great honor.
One you are no doubt ready for. A word of warning, though. There are many eyes watching you now, Commander. Some of them want to see you fail. I, however, wish you only success. Perform well and you bring the Earth Clan one step closer to joining the Council. And if they let your people in, maybe there is hope for my own species one day, yes?
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt
I think I've done this one.
Presidium to the wards. The entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of
What makes the Presidium
It is
so
the
special?
political center of Citadel space. But only the most powerful and influential species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is
Tell
There we
me more
go.
about the Shadow Broker.
Most people think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very wealthy. But the Shadow Broker is the true master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
Who is he?
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
You're his agent.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time, I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way. The more you know, the more dangerous the game becomes. I don't like danger, Commander. I'll leave that to you.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic. I also offer premium services for those
Okay,
clients.
did that already. Okay.
Goodbye, Commander.
This is truly magnificent. Most Prothean architecture I see is in ruins.
Helena Blake, who are you?
Got a moment, Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How do you know me?
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
What's your interest in this?
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves.
I don't like this.
They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
What kind of defenses are they running?
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
I eliminate them, and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, that is a major setup if I've ever heard one.
Commander.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
That's a lot. That's rather expensive. See, I wish that you could sit there and get from one store to the other.
Oh, this one.
But they don't.
Commander.
Show me your items.
Oh,
Because you can't go from one side to the other. Like, that's just stupid. Oh, hello. And we are going to equip the shit out of that. Okay. I'm gonna omni-gel that sucker. Okay. Let's see what's up here. This game design took a lot of cues from Knights of the Old Republic. Its vendors were spread out too thin. Well, I think my big problem with it is they don't let you... Like, I would like to be able to go from one store to the... Like, just use it as a menu as opposed to having to go back and ask them and say, hey, can you sit there and send me this? Or now can I go view this one? Like, that's just... It's inefficient and it's a pain in the butt. Down to the markets. Let's see if there's anything good there. I've arrived at the markets. Yes, I know. I can see that.
Welcome back, EarthClan. Will you be needing supplies for your return to the colonies?
I will.
What you got?
Most excellent. I am sure you will find something pleasing.
I gotta wonder what they look like underneath. All that, you know what I mean?
Best place on this ward to buy upgrades.
Let's see. You know, I would really be interested to see what they look like underneath all that.
Hey, Commander Shepard. Good to see you again. Anything you need?
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
I am real busy because I'm a Spectre and I'm important.
In entertainment news, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with L-Corps cast members.
Oh God, why?
Production will open dramatic theater to the L-Corps with a Hamlet who uses L-Corps body language and pheromones. Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions.
Right. That just sounds horrifying.
Celebrations are being planned for the anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars. Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni. In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible.
Through 210. You know what? This is probably a good opportunity to chill and call it for the night. Let's see. I got 4 points. Let me just upgrade myself first. Jesus, she's got 24. Apparently, I don't use her. Oh, Jesus, she's got 34. Okay, I need to make sure I use that. Sorry, man. It was a good night. It's just it's 2 o'clock, or it's like 10 after 2. We're at a point where we're all right, and if we go much further, it's going to be at least another half hour. You know what I mean? Well, what time? Like I said, 2:50. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for us. Yeah, I mean, we've almost doubled our play time. So this is a good opportunity for us to chill. What's photo mode? What do we get here? Hey, they got a lot of stuff in there, don't they?